Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. I'm Brian Moritz. Today I get to walk you around a used Coachmen Galleria 24T. So built on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis, we've got 24 feet 3 inches overall length. Before we start walking around, let's talk about the awning. We've got a power extend, power retract awning with the wind sensor. This is going to be a Colorado Carefree Colorado awning. It's also got the LED light strip in here. Push button on the inside that we'll talk about to extend and retract it. On the exterior of this Galleria, we've got the Arctic white paint scheme. And then all the way across, we've got the dual pane tinted windows. So keep it a little bit warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, also helps reduce noise. Not a whole lot to see on the exterior of this van. Back here, we've got two 110 volt outlets. So if you need power outside, it's here and available for you. It is the Sprinter 3500 chassis, so we do have dual rear wheels. Coming around to the back, down below we've got the 2-inch receiver with a 5,000 pound towing capacity. And then on the side of it, we do have a 7-pin connector for your trailer brakes, trailer lights, whatever you need. Up top, we do have a full color backup camera. It also has the predictive grid lines so that if you, or you can kind of see where you're going as you're backing up. Opening up the back doors, we do have the full swing hinges, the 180-degree swing hinges. So we can open up those nice and wide. And they do kind of have detents here, so if it gets a little windy, you can still leave them open. You know, you don't want to get it in real excessive wind, but you can leave them open during slight wind. On the back, privacy pull down shade. And then we also have just the bug screen. It's going to pop down, lock into place on the bottom there. And then underneath the bed, we get a little bit of storage. So this is going to be the table for the center of the coach, our shore power cord. And then this is probably the coolest option that I think Coachmen does. So this coach has what's called the Li3 option. So that's going to be a lithium battery pack. So over here on the left side, we have a 630 amp hour lithium battery pack. And then across on the right side, we've got the Xantrax 3000 watt inverter. Now with that 3000 watt inverter, that does give us the ability to run the air conditioning off of battery power without having to have shore power or a generator. This coach actually does not have a generator on it. When you put the lithium battery pack in it, it takes the generator out. Up top, we do have a 13,500 BTU air conditioning. And then standard on the Galleria, you get 330 watts of solar. So you can charge that lithium battery pack off of just the sun using the solar that is already on the roof. Over on the passenger side, oh, that's sticky, but we have the shore power connection here. Okay, it's sticky, but there is a shore power, so if you want to plug this coach into a 30 amp, say you're in a campground, you can, or if you just want to charge batteries at your house before you leave on a trip, you can absolutely do that as well. Forward of that, we've got our water compartment or our water service center. So hot and cold exterior shower, the city or tank fill diversion valve, black tank flush, and then a city water connection if you are in a park and have water available at all times. And then down below, we have our gray and black tank dumps. Coachmen does an awesome job by giving you a macerator pump, so you'll actually pump out your gray and black tanks rather than just having to gravity dump them. And then coming around to the front, the Mercedes Sprinter chassis does come standard with a 3.0 turbo diesel, which produces 188 horsepower, 325 foot-pounds of torque. Not a whole lot to see in here. We've got our depth fill right here in the front right side, easy to access, and you don't have to bend over or try and sneak that depth bottle in somewhere while you're filling it up. And then as kind of a cool feature on this Coachmen Galleria, we do have the power sliding door. So using the key fob, we can go ahead and open that door up or close it. You can also do it by pulling the handle, or there's a button there on the inside of the door. One cool feature I've always liked about Sprinters is if you hold the unlock button, you can actually open the driver and passenger side windows using your key fob, and then hold the lock button and they'll close. So you can be creative with how you use that, but this is a cool little feature that a lot of people don't realize that these have. So the 24T Coachmen Galleria does have 3 seats up front. There's a total of 6 seat belts in this coach. So whether you're using it for true camping or you just want kind of a get across the country and get good gas mileage comfortably with some extra amenities, this would be a great coach for you. So true 3-point seat belt here, and then 3-point seat belts for both the captain chairs in the front. Now both the driver and passenger seat are going to swivel around like this, just to add to the living area. There's a spot here where you can set up a table if you wanted to. And then we also have the screen door that pulls across to cover the cab entrance. If you want to have this in, open, get the fresh air, and without letting all the bugs in, you can absolutely do that. Right inside the door, we've got a massive 12-volt refrigerator. This is going to be a compressor refrigerator. And then down below, we get a separate freezer compartment. One of the bigger refrigerators that I've seen in a Class B motorhome. And then up top, we've got the convection microwave. So this is gonna act as your oven as well. Now, the cool thing about that lithium battery pack is literally everything in this coach can be run off of that 3,000 watt inverter. So with the microwave, the refrigerator, the cooktop, the air conditioning, TV, all of it can be run off of this coach, or off of the inverter. In this very front compartment, we've got our control center. So starting at the top left here, we've got just a solar master switch. So if you want to shut it off, make sure those batteries aren't charging while you're not using the coach, you can shut that off. Whole battery disconnect. So when you're putting it in storage, you put it in store mode. That way you don't come back to a dead battery. Exterior lights, and then your heated tanks. So this has a 27-gallon freshwater tank, 22 gallons of gray water, and 19 gallons of black water. And each of those tanks has holding tank heaters on them. You can control them individually, lets you be out there in that winter camping a little bit longer. Go Power solar controller, it's going to tell us our battery levels and what the solar is doing. The control for our Truma Combi, which is going to be our heat and hot water. And then Xantrex inverter controller as well. That's going to be your on and off switch for it. We're going to quickly go over storage up above. So nice big cabinetry. This van actually has more storage than most Class Bs. Actually, we'll do that as kitchen storage, and we'll go down below for more kitchen storage. Nice big cabinet. Pull out drawer. Wet storage for your sponges and scrubbers. And then a bank of 3 drawers going down the front of this kitchen. Now these locks or latches are very nice, so you don't have to worry about these falling open while you're in transit. Down below or up above, we've got the Corian countertop, 1 burner true induction cooktop, single bowl undermount sink, and a ton of counter space here. Lots of prep space while you're cooking. There are outlets over on the front side of this cabinet or counter, so if you need power, coffee maker, that kind of stuff, we do have outlets available for you. So I'm just going to open all these up and let Jody here kind of pan around on them, just to give you a sense of storage. Now this is just our overhead storage. In the front compartment, we do have the Jensen Center. That's going to be an AM, FM, or Bluetooth radio, as well as a DVD player that's hooked up to this LG TV just below it. And then in the very back, we have an absolutely massive cabinet. Now, one thing that I find really cool is I actually have this air conditioning running right now off of that inverter, and you can't really hear it. It doesn't have that big noisy air conditioning that you see in most Class B RVs. Now, with this sofa in the back, we have 3 additional seat belts here. So one thing that I think is a good idea, or kind of cool, is if you weren't buying this as a camper and you were just using it as a travel van, which a lot of people actually do, you know, if you put the kiddos back here, we've got the 24-inch LG TV, 3 seat belts, you have a table, cup holders on either side, and a power center. So if they wanted to use their tablets or whatever, you have the ability to do that. This table is removable or adjustable up and down, but we can just pop this off of its track and store it wherever. if you don't feel comfortable having that table sitting in front of the seats while you're in transit. The sofa is also going to double as your bed, which is power folding. So push the button, it lays down flat, and at 6 feet tall, I have plenty of room here. Now you can fill in this center section for additional, or if you want to just make it into a giant king bed. And then going back to storage, we got big kind of hanging wardrobe. These shelves are adjustable up and down or removable if you wanted to. And then on the back side of the store, we do get a big mirror so that while you're getting ready for the day, you can look, check yourself out a little bit. There we go. And then last but not least on this van, we've got the wet bath. So sink, shower, toilet, all into one. Again, we have 27 gallons of fresh water, 22 gallons of gray, and 19 gallons of black. Go ahead and talk about the cab for a second. So this Mercedes chassis does have push button start. This is the new Mercedes chassis. So with this, we got the 3.0 turbo diesel 7-speed automatic transmission, and then right here is going to be the actual control pad for that transmission. So down for drive, up for reverse, center for neutral, and then push the button for park. We do have adaptive cruise control, so it's going to slow us down and speed us up as we're going along. Volume control for the radio over here on the right side. In fact, this is all of our radio controls. One thing I've always liked about these is they have the swipe pad. So you just kind of run your finger across it to get to your different options on the radio screen. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Go to navigation. Navigation built in. This is actually a really nice map. And the one thing I really like about the Mercedes as well is these touchscreens are actually nice. They're not like the old school ones where you have to really beat on them. They're more like your cell phone where you just lightly touch it and it moves and does what you want it to. Camera switch for the back. Now if I put it into reverse, we get the predictive grid lines. And then over on the left side, we have the parking sensors all the way around. So if we're getting close to something, it'll start beeping at you and show you on the screen where you're close to something. Quick button back to navigation. Another switch for that power sliding door here in the cab, and then our HVAC controls. For driver and passenger, we obviously have power windows. I showed you that on the exterior, but we also have power adjusting seats with memory. So it gives you 3 slots for memory. One thing that I like to do with this is 1 for the driver 1, 2 for the driver 2, and then 3 for the position the seat needs to be in to rotate it. So I'm going to step out for just a second here. So with these rotating seats, if you have it too far forward or too far back, it's going to hit this B pillar. So what you have to do is move it forward until it clears, and then it'll go around nicely. So if you set the memory seat 3 to the position that it has to be in to rotate it, makes your life just a little bit easier. And you do have that on both driver and passenger seats. And I think that's pretty much it on this Coachmen Galleria 24T. If you have any questions about this unit, please feel free to give me a call. Again, my name is Brian Moritz with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. My phone number is 303-482-6375. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.